just like the headings in a Word document, if you change the theme, the symbols that you add from this area of your Word document will change too. So I'll just demonstrate just to show you. If we try different themes, you get different colors. It just goes with the heading color. So you can try all these different, actually, there's so many different ones that are a lot cooler than the color I currently have, but I'll stick with the office theme. So in this task, we'll navigate to a certain section of our document and then change it from one column to two. Maybe we want this part to look like a magazine entry or a newsletter or maybe a brochure or something like that. So we want to change this from just a single column to a double column or maybe a triple column as well. And you would do that by highlighting the paragraph first. So we'll highlight from here to here all of the text in this section. And then in the layout tab, we'll go to the column drop arrow and we'll just pick two. Now you could be asked to do a little bit more things when it comes to multiple columns. Like you could be, we'll choose this more columns area and you could choose, put a line in between. You could, once we choose the two columns, and change the width or spacing and then apply it to the whole document. But we only want to apply it to the selected text here. We'll just press OK. We don't need a line in between. It's just a straightforward two column that we want to convert this one column into. So we'll press OK. So for more column options, just click more columns and the more columns dialog box will pop up. So the last two tasks, we're going to focus on line spacing options. And when it comes to line spacing options and paragraph spacing options, there's tons of things in Microsoft Word and tons of options that you have, but we're just going to focus on two of them that are most likely to be on your exam so we don't get too distracted. So if you get a strange number when it comes to line spacing, like 1.4, that's the multiple line spacing option, because the multiple line spacing option basically lets you fine tune your line spacing. Instead of doing like 1, which would be single space, or 2, which would be double space, or maybe in between that, which would be 1.5, you can fine tune it to like 1.3 or 1.4. So multiple just means you can choose a bunch of different line spacing options. So that's what the multiple line spacing option means. So if you have a weird number and it says make that this line spacing for your entire document, this is the multiple line spacing option. But first we have to select all of the text in our document. So the way you would do that is start at the top and then press Control and A, and that's going to select everything in your document. Notice how if I scroll down, everything all the way to the bottom of the document is highlighted. So Control A from the top, and then it'll highlight everything, even if your document was like 10 pages long. So now that we've got everything highlighted, we can go to this paragraph group here. So in this paragraph setting dialog box launcher here, click on that. And then you want to go down to the line spacing options. So there's many here, but the ones that you'll be tested are on exactly or multiple. For this task, we're going to choose multiple so that we can fine tune the number that we want to make the line spacing. So 2 is double space, 1 is single space, 1.4 is sort of like in between. See how it gives us 1.5? And then maybe we want to choose 1.4. So again, multiple line spacing, just think of it as multiple options when it comes to the measurement of your line spacing. And then we'll press OK. And this is what 1.4 would look like versus, double space 2 or single space 1. So if we read the task here, it says at the end of the document, change the line spacing of the last 2 paragraphs to exactly 14 points. So there's a hint right there. It says exactly 14 points, and there's a line spacing option that'll allow you to change something to exactly something else. So the word says exactly, so we know that's the option we need to use and change it to 14 points. This is what that would look like. So I'm going to highlight these last 2 paragraphs or the last 2 sentences here, and then I'm going to go to the paragraph settings dialog box launcher. And then instead of line spacing multiple, it's exactly, it says it right in the task, and then change it from 12 points to 14 points, and then click OK. And now we've changed that to 14 points exactly.